It's a hot one outside. Happy Podcast Tuesday, everyone. Welcome back to Convos with K-Dash. I'm K-Dash. For those of you who are here for the first time, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining tonight. I hope you're all staying cool, stay hydrated, drink lots of water. But nonetheless, welcome to episode cuatro. And as a reminder, this is all still a work in progress, you guys. So please continue to be patient. But I do thank those who have been giving me constructive criticism, feedback, and those especially that are participating on my questionnaire, my poll. It's the small things that help people like myself that are new to the podcast game. This is the only way that we can improve and get better to provide better overall content for you guys. What are we talking about tonight? So in tonight's episode, we're exploring a very crucial, sensitive subject: toxic work environments. Let me start off by saying that this is a very sensitive topic to me, and especially to speak about it because this is something I experienced for a couple months, and I recently lived through my own experiences. So I definitely wanted to share something with you guys and, be open about it. So toxic work environments, they can have a very profound impact on our well-being, on our productivity, and our overall happiness. How do you categorize if you are working in a toxic environment? So there are several key factors. It can be poor communication. In a toxic work environment, communication often is broken down. There's a lack of transparency, passive-aggressive behavior, and rumors are rampant. Another way is micromanagement. Employees that feel suffocated when every task is being scrutinized excessively, leaving them with little autonomy or trust from their managers, directors, or CEOs. Another aspect would be high turnover rates. Constant churn in personnel can be a huge sign, especially a red one, of a toxic workplace. Employees leave frequently due to stress, burnouts, or dissatisfaction. Another one, lack of recognition. In toxic workplaces, achievements are rarely acknowledged, and this lack of appreciation can demotivate employees and diminish their morale. Now, if we compare how it would be the opposite in a healthy work environment, let's contrast this with the characterizations of healthy work environments and what that looks like. Clear communication. So in a healthy work environment, there's open communication, honesty, and respect. And there's encouragement through communication. Feedback is huge, and it can be a constructive criticism. And there's a culture of listening and understanding. Also, empowerment and trust. Employees are given autonomy to make decisions with their roles. Managers trust their teams and provide support when needed. Another point of a healthy work environment is employee development, and this is huge for me. There needs to be a focus on personal growth and career development. That can look like training opportunities, mentorship programs, and constructive feedback, and readily available at any time. And this is what tops it all for me: work-life balance. Healthy workplaces prioritize the well-being of their employees. Flexible work hours, remote work options, and policies that promote mental health are implemented at all times. So you may ask yourself, how can I identify, or how can you identify a workplace if it's toxic or healthy? Well, here are some signs, and this is some signs that helped me to identify that I was in a very toxic work environment. There was excessive gossip and negativity. There was a fear of making mistakes or speaking up, high stress levels, and frequent conflicts. Lack of diversity and inclusion efforts. What are signs of a healthy work environment? There's a clear mission in the workplace for the company, the organization, and the values that guide decision making. There's collaboration happening. Teamwork is encouraged. Feedback is given constructively and regularly. There's a sense of camaraderie and respect among colleagues. Now, I'd like to share a personal story about my own experience with a toxic environment and decisions I made to leave behind that caused me to quit. So, a little backstory. I was working with an organization where the atmosphere was increasingly, I can't even explain, toxic. The communication was poor from management. It was passive aggressive emails being sent back and forth, and constant undercurrent of rumors. Management and directors, including the CEO, would question every little thing about my work, my department's work, and projects. Not to fully discredit this organization, because when I first started, and this is all full transparency, when I first started working for this particular organization, the organization seemed to provide very healthy boundaries, which drew me in on why I wanted to join the team. It was a very family-oriented environment, which I loved. But this all changed over the last year and a half when new management, directors, and CEOs started cleaning house within the department. Myself and other team members, we didn't feel safe or secure in our jobs. It was an ugly feeling waking up every morning, making me feel suffocated and unable to perform of my best to my ability. The turnover rate increased really fast, and I saw so many of my talented colleagues leave due to stress and burnout. My achievements were rarely acknowledged, and I felt my motivation and morale slip away. When I noticed I was one of the last very few left from my department, I started just thinking and looking around, where I reached a point where I could no longer tolerate the environment and so much toxic around it. The stress was taking a toll on my mental and physical health, and I knew I had to make a change. So I took about 3 to 4 months to really assess my life and really make a change and quit. I was scared. I had no plan. I had no job lined up, not knowing when my next paycheck was going to come. And it felt like I was taking a leap into the unknown. Despite the fear, though, I decided to quit my job. At first, it was terrifying because we live in a world, well, I truly believe this, we live in a world where we're often encouraged to play it safe, to stick with what we know, even if it makes us miserable. And this is something I cannot accept. But sometimes playing it safe can block new opportunities from arising. I noticed that as long as I remained in a toxic environment, especially in a work environment, nothing was going to change, nothing was going to happen, and I was going to simply be stuck in that environment. The moment I took that leap of faith, I'll never forget it. It was scary, but with some time, acceptance of my situation, isolation, and a lot of spiritual work, I started noticing things fall into place. I began to trust the universe that I was making the right decision for my mental health and my physical health. I began networking, attending workshops, and taking up things that were more interesting to me. I discovered a whole new identity of myself when it came to my career. New opportunities that I haven't even considered before were popping up. I had found opportunities that had a higher value, clear communication, empowered their employees, and promote work-life balance. I felt appreciated with this new opportunity that I was able to start. And I felt motivated again. For a while, I felt if I was lucky. But now that I come to think about it, I wasn't lucky. It was my leap of faith, to be honest, my hard work, my discipline, waking up every morning at 5:30 to look for jobs and more. Something I deserved. I knew I deserved because I worked hard for it. So it wasn't lucky. It was something that was waiting for me on the other side. So if you find yourself in a very toxic work environment, what can you do? You can assess your situation, evaluate it, see if it's toxic, see if it's causing you to isolate yourself from colleagues. Document the instances so you can provide clarity if needed. Seek support. Talk to trusted colleagues, mentors, people that you look up to. It's sometimes encouraged to speak to an HR representative at your toxic work environment, but you have to be very, very careful. And I say this with all my heart because I thought I had faith in HR, but come to find out that HR was looking out for themselves as an opportunity to shine by throwing an entire department under the bus, which included me. Set boundaries. Protect your well-being by setting clear boundaries with toxic individuals or situations. Focus on your work and limit interactions that drain you emotionally and physically. So, before I end, whether you're currently navigating a toxic work environment or enjoying the benefits of a healthy one, remember that your workplace, your environment significantly impacts your overall satisfaction and success. Through my experience, my sufferings of my toxic workplace, it impacted a lot in my life. This includes the impact it has on your overall life. That negativity and stress can follow you home and affect your relationships, your kids, your friendships, your family, and your well-being. I noticed the effect it has on my own surroundings. I was not the fun person to be around with because I would wake up every day hating life, hating my situation. By understanding the signs and taking proactive steps, you too can contribute and create a positive and productive work culture. And sometimes taking that leap of faith, as scary as that is, and it may seem, it can definitely open up a lot of doors and opportunities you never imagined. So, I leave you with this. Is your toxic work environment worth your overall mental health? You need to find what your value is, how much you're worth, how much you really need to change. The best advice I can give you is that it's not entirely about the money, the salary, because trust me, you can lose yourself mentally and physically. If changes need to be made along with boundaries, you need to make them. Additionally, because of this experience, I reach a confident level where I feel untouchable and nothing scares me. Even current opportunities that I have now, nothing scares me to look for another opportunity. So, how much is your mental health worth to you? Is it worth $1 to you? With that being said, thank you for tuning in. I hope you found today's episode insightful. Please comment below and share your thoughts, your stories. Please share whatever you'd like. On that note, remember to stay strong, stay disciplined, and prioritize your mental health first before anything. Have an amazing day. Stay hydrated, stay cool. This is K-Dash signing off.